Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do another great workout in your home. We're only going to use a couple different exercise tubes. So one stronger, one lighter. So if you've got your tubes set up, that's great. I'm going to have them set up on a higher setting today if you want to get that set up before we get started. And that is the only thing we're going to use. So I just have two of them in there. I have on my higher setting, so I have my lighter one and my heavier one. So you can do it how you like. Remember to come into these workouts warmed up and ready to go. Get that heart rate up a little bit, get your muscles warm. It's not hard to do this time of year. But anyway, we're gonna start with a lat pull down. So we're gonna work those large muscles in your back. They're your latissimus dorsi. Their abbreviation is lats. So we're going to sit on the floor, unless you have a higher point in your home where you can loop around tubes or bands. If you can sit on a ball, that's a great way to do it, or you could sit on a bench, or if you have a machine, that's another way to do this too. But I want to make this as accessible as possible for everyone. So I'm going to have you sit on the floor, back nice and tall, shoulders down and back, and then we're going to grab those tubes, squeeze back. So your goal is to drive your elbows towards the floor, squeezing your shoulder blades down and back as you pull. So you're keeping that really good posture. When you come up here, you're not letting your shoulders go up by your ears, squeezing back, breathing every time. So you are sitting and pulling down versus leaning back here and doing a row. So you want to sit up nice and tall and pull down. Really emphasize those lats here. Take a nice deep breath. And one more, squeeze and pull. All right, good. So when you're doing these types of things, if your band isn't quite strong enough, you can double it up. You can sit a little bit further back. You can do more. You could do a set of 12. You could do a set of 15 to make it so that you're feeling a little bit of a fatigue or a little bit of muscle, I hesitate to say burn, but a little bit of muscle fatigue at the end of the set. So if you're not feeling it at 10 and it's still feeling pretty easy, go a little slower, really squeeze, maybe do a set of 20. It's okay, especially if you don't have like a really heavy band for a large group exercise like that, a large muscle group exercise like that. Okay, now we're gonna stay on the floor. So just in your position, so you just finished your lats, I'm gonna have you start in this position. I'm gonna have you think about doing reverse crunches. So we're starting tall. Put your hands across your chest, or you can put them here on your legs, and we're going to just lean back, not all the way to the floor. So it's a reverse crunch. So we're starting tall, leaning back. Now, if that feels okay and pretty easy, going back with your hands on your thighs, we're just sliding your hands gently, keeping your shoulders relaxed. So you could try here, crossing your arms across your chest, keeping your back nice and tall. Notice that I'm keeping really tall. I'm not letting my back bend like this. That can make my low back hurt just a little bit, so I'm staying as tall as I can, breathing. And then if this feels really easy and you need more of a challenge, you can put your hands behind your head, keep your feet on the ground. We're gonna do 10, I think this is 9, and 10. All right, good. Now we're gonna stay right here and start the next exercise from here. We're gonna go up onto your hands and feet like this. You don't have to be in a straight exact bridge here. You can keep your hips down a little bit. Now, if you're here and you're comfortable, I want you to try just a little bit of crab walking. You don't have to go very far, just maybe 3 or 4 forward, 3 or 4 back. This is a great triceps exercise. You're getting a little hamstring. If you can try to lift those hips up a little higher, but it's okay to leave them down. We're just getting some good full body core, hamstring. Your triceps should be feeling this. Just slowly back and forth. I'm just gonna go back and forth like 5 times. So I'm going 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, entirely too much for you, the other thing you can do is just hold this position. So just holding this, it's called a reverse bridge, because normally we'd be here doing a bridge, right? So we're doing kind of a, or a reverse plank, I should say, not a reverse bridge, kind of a reverse plank. So you don't have to put your feet way out here or anything, but just holding here. And you can kind of do it in like small intervals too. If you hold it for a couple seconds, come down, try again. That's a good way to ease into that motion. Okay, now we're going to come back up to your tubes here. We're staying in a pretty tight little area for today's workout. And we're going to do triceps extension. So I'm going to switch the band that I have my tube on, or the band that I have my handles on, to the little bit lighter one. We're going to do triceps extension. So we just got a little triceps on the floor. Now we're really going to get a little bit more. So I'm going to have you stagger your feet just a little bit. You could even do a tandem stance if you're feeling like your balance is needing a little challenge. So in this one, you're keeping your elbows right in your sides, your shoulders are down and back. I'm tipped forward at the hips just a little, because I don't want to do anything like this, right? So I'm just in good athletic stance. My knees are bent, elbows right in your sides. Starting here, press down beside your hips and slowly back up. Breathe. 5. If it's starting to feel really hard, you could step a little closer. 6. If you need a little more, you could step back. 8, 9, and 10. That is one that may get hard quickly because these muscles are pretty small. They start to feel that burn really quickly, especially after those reverse plank kind of crab walking that we just did. Okay, now we're going to do a balance challenge. So we'll stay right where we are. Last time we did an airplane hold. Today we're going to do a starfish hold. So bring those shoulders back, down, away from your ears, and we're going to do starfish. So similar to the airplane where we tipped forward, today we're going to tip to the side. So start small. Tip just a little. Bring one leg out to the side, and then you're taking your torso and moving it off center. Just a little. But you're keeping everything in line. This should all stay in line. So as you go, that stays in line. You're just tipping at this hip off to the side. So arms out to the side, make yourself a starfish, and then find that space, right? Like if you're here and that's enough, that's okay. Remember to do this at a sturdy place, like a kitchen counter or your treadmill, or even a wall is a good place if you've got a wall. But find where it's a challenge, but safe and not painful, and we're gonna work on it for 30 seconds. Now, just like the airplane hold, we're really getting some good hip stability here, balance, ankle, foot strengthening, and core here. So this one's really working this oblique on the side the further you go out. Okay, next we're gonna do another 30 seconds. I lost my clock, there we go. And the other side. So many times, one side is a little more stable than the other. One side might be a little more challenging depending on injury or surgery or right and left-handedness. There's a lot of things that go into which side may feel stronger or more challenging. So we've got 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. So we're getting some good hip strengthening there, some obliques, feet, ankles, balance, all of it there. I love that one. Okay, now we're going to lower down to the floor for the last one. We're going to do opposite clam shells. Working on those hip strengtheners. We're going to lie down on your side and bring your knees up for clam shells, right? So you want your hips stacked, your shoulders stacked, almost to the point where you think like you're almost rolling forward. And you're not, but I'd rather have that than laying open. So you really want to be stacked. Bring this top hand in front, knees up, and then your feet up towards your hips. We're going to do an opposite clamshell. So you're lifting up your foot, your top foot, and then your knees are staying together. So this is an internal rotator. You're working your TFL here, in addition to a little bit of other stabilizers, but you're really just kind of targeting that muscle right here. So if you're gonna feel it a little bit differently than doing these clamshells. You could also add this one on at the end, but those are more common, and especially if you're already doing those, this is a good one to add to your toolbox. 9 and 10. Good. Now we're gonna switch sides. Lying, you want to keep your head in line here, just like I always talk about. Your cervical spine needs to be protected. So if you are not able to lay on your elbow like this, find a pillow to support that head so you're not, don't want anybody laying like this. Bring those feet up towards your hips and lift that top foot, lift that top ankle, keeping those knees together. 3, 4. Remember, these are nice and stacked. Your hips are stacked, your shoulders are stacked. This hand is in front to make sure that you stay forward. It's easier with this one. This, when you do the regular clamshell, it's easy to roll out, but this one is pretty easy to stay because it's internally rotating that hip there. 9 and 10. Good. Remember to go slowly with those. So you're slowly up, slowly down, and it's not about getting a large range of motion. There isn't really a large range of motion to be had there. So it's a small range of motion, nice and slowly, each direction. Okay, thank you everybody. Go ahead and you can do another round of cardio here and then follow through with another round of strength. Do that through 2 to 3 times total, and then follow with really good stretching and cool down at the end. Thank you so much everybody. Keep moving, and we'll see you next time.